Hi, I'm Alicia. I'm a program coordinator in counseling services at CSM, and I want to show you a little bit about registration for spring semester using WebSmart and WebSchedule. So we have a student portal here. This is your my.smccd.edu portal here, and there are a number of important tools here. The two I'm going to talk about are WebSmart and WebSchedule. For WebSmart, you will log in with your user ID, which is the first part of your my.smccd.edu email. So if you log in, you'll see the login button here. And I'm just going to go straight to WebSmart right there. We want to look under Student Services Registration. You'll see on this screen there are a number of things we need to look at. The first thing we need to do is to check the registration date. So if you click here, you will choose spring 2021, and you want to see if the registration date is today. If it's today or a day previous to today, then your registration is open. If it's a date in the future, then you need to wait until that date to register for classes. So I see that I can register, and I'm going to go back to my registration page. Now I would go to registration, add and drop classes. And you'll see here you can scroll down, and there's some various information here that you want to pay attention to. What we need to do is we need to know the CRN numbers for the classes that we're going to take. The CRN number is the unique identifier for the section of the class that you want to take. So once we have those, we can enter them into these boxes and we can submit changes, and then you'll be registered for classes. There's a class search button on this page. We do not recommend that you use this because this is not the best way to search for classes. The best way is to use the web schedule. So if you actually click this button, it will give you a disclaimer telling you to use the web schedule. You could go to it here, but let's just go back, and I have the web schedule right here. So actually I have a class selected already. You want to go to the main page of the web schedule and search by keywords. Okay, a keyword could be anything. It could be a word in the title of the class. It could be an instructor's name. It could be the title of the course. You could even use a CRN number if you already knew one. I'm going to look for English 105. And then I also have selected spring semester. Right now we're still seeing fall, but we want to make sure that we're choosing spring. You can choose all three of our colleges or any one of our colleges. So on this one, let me just look at all of them. Okay. And since we're online, if you do want to take a class at one of the other colleges, it's less of an issue right now. So I'm selecting all. And there are a few symbols that I really want to pay attention to here. Number one, this will tell me that there's no cost for the textbook. That's kind of a nice thing to have. This symbol here shows me that this class was an in-person class, which was converted to online due to our closure. So that's one of the things that you need to pay attention to. An SI leader is somebody who is an embedded tutor in the class. So this class has that type of extra help in the class. So those are things that you can be aware of as well. A class with just a WWW is a class that was always intended to be online. So that class will probably not have any virtual meetings, whereas a converted class may, and you just need to pay attention to all that information for the individual classes that you register for. So let's just say I want to choose one of these classes. If I choose the CRN number here, I can copy that. And then once I go back to my registration, I can just paste that number right in here. Okay, and if I submit changes, I will be registered for that class. Okay, I'm registered now for this class. If there were a wait list, I would have the option right here under action that I could add myself to the wait list. So now you want to go back and look at the web schedule again and choose another class. Okay, and this method of choosing classes, you definitely want to consider your SEP. You want to choose the classes that were advised by your counselor on your SEP. So now maybe I need to register for a math class. Okay, now I've been to my counselor already. I know that I'm eligible for statistics with support. Okay, so some classes do have a support class with them. And statistics, I happen to know, is Math 200. So I am going to choose that. And there we go. It's going to give me all the classes. Actually, maybe I just want to check CSM. So I'm going to uncheck Kenyatta and Skyline. And then I'm going to see all the classes that are offered. Now, if I were to choose this one without the support, the green box tells me there's a support class. If I were to choose this one, I will not be eligible for this class. So this is the one I'm eligible for. So I am going to choose this one. And I notice this is 46885. And then this one has a support class, which it tells me 46886. So I need to register for both of those at the same time. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to copy this one. I'm going back to WebSmart. I'm going to go back to my CRN number boxes here. I'm going to add this one. And then I'm also going to add the 4886. Okay, so now see, I have both of these. I can now submit changes. If I were to add only one, I would get an error. Now I'm registered for these 3 classes. You will proceed onward and go back to WebSchedule, register for any other classes that you need. And once you have done that, you need to pay attention to what your outstanding balance is and make sure that you pay that by the deadline. You'll receive reminder emails, but if you do not pay that by the deadline, you will be dropped from classes. If you have applied for financial aid or a payment plan, you want to double check and make sure that of the status of that, but those things should prevent you from being dropped. Please check with financial aid to make sure that you know the correct information. You don't want to make any mistakes and get dropped from your classes. Okay, so now let's say this is the rest of my schedule. If I go to my class schedule, I can look here and I can see the classes that I'm registered for. Okay. And this will tell me my schedule for the spring semester. One other thing I do want to mention on the web schedule here, let's go back to the main page. Say I want to consider a psychology class, Psych 100. For this class, and I'm looking at CSM here as well. For this class, let's just look and see. Maybe this one is a late start class. When we look at the class description, we can get lots of other information about the class. So in addition to the class description, it also tells me how it's applicable to my various goals. Maybe I'm going to earn an associate degree at CSM. Maybe I'm going to transfer to a university. It gives me all this information as to how I can use this class for general ed and for transferability. Okay, this one, it tells me the book that I have to purchase, which is an online book. And this one tells me too that this class starts late. Okay, so this class does not start until March 23rd. Okay, so, excuse me. No, it does not. This one, oh yes, I'm sorry. It starts on March 16th. The last day to add is March 23rd. But those are all things to be aware of when you're registering for classes. So the other thing is counseling services. We're available to help with any questions that you have. You can get to our website through the main CSM webpage, which is here. Go to Student Services, and here's Counseling Services. We're available to help you. We have phone hours here, and we have hours that you can reach us by Zoom. So any questions, please feel free to reach out. Hope this helped you with your registration, and wishing you a good day.